I portray Fred Tolliver.
And I'm Conisha Wade, and I play Felicia. I wish I knew her last name, but...
I play the character of Jack's mother. And what was really interesting about Elaine as we were talking about her and figuring out the character was that she was someone who was very much involved in this revolution in the very beginning when her husband was alive, and was very much in the forefront and was a strong activist. And then after Fred died, I kind of changed for her, sort of, but it was still sort of this complexity of figuring out how much of it she actually let go, and how much is Elaine still part of this revolution, even though you don't really see her out there on the forefront.
So I play Felicia, and I am still a part of the revolution of trying to stop the upload. I'm very much so about keeping hope alive, keep fighting power, and I find myself gravitating towards that character more because I feel like I was born in the wrong decade. I feel like I should have been a Black Panther or something like that. So this is my chance to explore being that type of character. And I had a lot of fun with it. And tried to get my sister on board, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
What I love about Fred is the manhood and the leadership he exhibits. For me as a young man, I mean, that's what sustains me. From my father, my grandfathers were men. Men that I do in the church or in the community. And I don't often see that too much, whether it's on stage or TV or film, especially from a Black perspective. That Black manhood that held the community down, that would put his life on the line without a second's notice for his family. You know, and also his family is the community, not just within his household. And then I like to explore what happens when that is removed. And especially for a young boy to grow up without a father, but his father's all around him.
So family for Felicia is everything. Family should be on one accord. Family should want to do the same thing. Even if it is a little bit different, but we should all be fighting for the same thing. And when one person in the family isn't fighting for that, I feel like Felicia is that person who tries to get that person more involved. This film is in the future, and there are a lot of sci-fi aspects of it, and that was another piece that brought me in, because we don't see enough representation of Black people doing sci-fi. So the writing was already there, and Johnathon did a great job with that, so I was very much attached from that moment.
Family's the only thing. That's all you have. Before any success, I mean, that's in corporate America, Hollywood, or what have you. Even in this film, that's all you have is family. And family is just not just your bloodline. Family is those that sacrifice for you, that love with you, that'll correct you, that'll fight with you, that'll cry, that'll pray with you. And you see that in this film.
I think I really just piggyback on what Fred and Felicia said. And I think family, it's having a really strong nucleus of whatever that is. Because, you know, we all, I think in this day and age, really create our own family based on who we bond with and who we feel the most connected with. Felicia's like, you know, we should all be in this together. And I think Elaine is like, yeah, that's great, but there has to be another way for us to do that, because I don't want to risk losing somebody else in this family unit that we have, because right now all we have is one another, and I can't lose somebody else who is close to me in that same way.
I am trying to keep what is left of my family alive, which includes you.
Well, this ain't much of a living now, is it?
You know what, Felicia? Don't even start with
Look,
me.
this isn't the life that Fred died for.
Don't you think I know that?
Respect from Fred, even though he's no longer with us, she still just wants that respect from him. Like, he knows that she's doing this because she just respects him and he respects her. And so I think that's what it boils down to, is Felicia wants respect, period.
Fred's fighting for a future, for the community, for his family, you know. You see this brother just fighting for hope, but he's fighting for the future, and he's willing to make the greatest sacrifice, and that's with your life.
I feel like Elaine is fighting for her family and really keeping them together and not losing any more family members if she can help it.
Upload to me, it's about the fight and the struggle. And then when I got on set, is framed us running up the flight of stairs, busting through the doors, you know what I mean? In the gear, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, yeah, this fight is real. It's really real. It became physical. And to understand the physical is tied to the spiritual and the mental.
Come on.
You know what I mean? To be on set, to live that moment, it was like I was transported to another world. And I said, oh, yeah, this is real. So I can only imagine what it was like behind the camera. So I can't wait to see, you know, what you guys are going to see out there. You know what I mean? How you guys are going to experience it. Because if it's anything like I felt, you're going to be on the edge of your seat.
It would have been 10 if you had just listened to me. Fred, the people are dying every day because of these devices. Which is why we need to level the playing field and get our own. No!
You know, I think DeJuan explained it, you know, beautifully, just about that whole idea of when a patriarch is gone from a community and how you kind of have to come together to fill that void. And when someone is sort of your leader and that gets taken away from you, you know, you think about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and how we all still had to rally together to continue the fight of what they were out there preaching about on a daily basis. And how that can just take you down mentally and you're constantly questioning, is what I'm doing even making sense? Is it even, can it even be accomplished? You know, and I think that's what it kind of speaks to in the fact that this is, you know, eventually takes place in the future, and you kind of see what's happened after all that stuff that happened in the present or in the past. You know, you figure, well, God, what are the ramifications of that? Did we come out of that any different?
But I think that's what it goes into, though. Without telling too much about the story, is passing the torch. This is essentially the passing of a torch to the next generation. So yes, the void of not having a paternal figure in a house, but then there's also this new paternal figure who's coming up and blossoming, and it's watching him walk into that position and see what he can do with it. And that's what brought me into the piece. And I was like, oh, I had no idea what Upload was about. And I was just gonna read a play. And then I was like, oh, this is interesting. And so when you see something like that, it's a story that I haven't heard before. So I was very much so like, let me be a part of something that's new and fresh. And then once on set, with them costumes, you couldn't tell me nothing. First of all,
She definitely looked like something from the future.
From the future.
I was in the future fighting the good fight.
Yes.
I was into it. As soon as I put my armor on, I was like, I'm there. I am there.
We got some, I mean, they had some legit awesome jewelry. I definitely took a couple pair of earrings.
Hello.
It was lit. Loved it. Have even worn some.
Right? And it was fun because, like, I would look at her costume and be like, oh, girl, where the pants from? I was like, I'm about to go order me some.
I was like, I like that jacket.
Right?
I like the jacket. Come through.
Come through.
One word.
One word.
Fantasy.
Energy.
I was gonna say explosive.
See? Energy, that's what there it is.
Yeah.
That's why y'all husband and wife. I'm over here in a fantasy. Y'all over there talking about energy. I'm like, I'm in a fantasy. Join me, y'all. Join me in this fantasy.
My name is Mildred Marie Langford. I played Elaine Tolliver.
DeJuan Christopher portraying Freddie Tolliver.
Conisha Wade. I played